Hello and welcome to No Win, No Fee, the show where all 12 of today's contestants are hoping to go home with £4,000. And you know what? I'm hoping they don't. And that's because I do not get paid for presenting the show. If one of these people take the money, I go home with absolutely nothing. A big, fat zero. No win, no fee for me. And if you don't believe me, take a look at my contract. There it is in black and white. Remuneration. The presenter agrees that he shall receive no fee for providing the services. In fact, the only way I make anything at all is if this lot fail to win the money. Then I get £4,000. Let's see who's standing in the way of me and my fee today. Gerard, Dave, Justin, Jackie, Matt, Jane, Nicole, John, Spence, Charlotte, Mark, Sharon. Now, you're all virtually complete strangers to each other. All you really know about each other are those names. And this is a game of assumption and presumption. I'm going to ask you to choose players who you think are going to get a question wrong. It's sudden death, and it's all about first impressions. There are 12 of you now. In a few minutes, I'm happy to say there'll be only 6 of you. And we start by randomly choosing one of you. Who's a good judge of character? Who wants to knock somebody out of the game? Who's going to be up first to choose a question? The first person putting his chance at £4,000 on the line is going to be Gerard. Join me and choose your question. It is all about first impressions, and first you've got to choose one of 2 questions, top or bottom. Which one is somebody here going to get wrong, Gerard?
I'll go for the bottom question.
The bottom question. That's the one you think somebody's going to get wrong.
I do.
Here it is. Who wrote the spy novels, The Spy Who Came In From the Cold and Smiley's People? Charlotte's thinking. John's staring straight at you. Dave, I think, is confident, but it could be a bluff. It's up to you, though. Don't let me influence you. The choice is yours. One of these 11. Who's going to get it wrong, though, Gerard?
I will go for Dave.
OK, Dave, he thinks you're going to get this wrong. Join us and prove him wrong. Come and face your question. Now, what is it about Dave that made you think he's vulnerable?
He's young. We haven't spoken, so I don't really know the guy, but it's first impressions.
If he's right, you're out. It's as quick as that. Here's the question. Who wrote the spy novels, The Spy Who Came In From the Cold and Smiley's People? Take your time. Still happy with your choice, Gerard?
Less so.
He does look confident, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
Dave, got to get this right.
OK.
Who wrote the spy novels, The Spy Who Came In From the Cold and Smiley's People?
I believe it was John le Carre.
If John le Carre is right, you're still in the game. If you're wrong, Gerard's going home. The answer is John le Carre. Dave, you are right. Of course, he also wrote The Looking Glass War, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, A Perfect Spy. Dave, you are still in the game. Gerard, I'm happy to say you did quite well, but you're out.
Thank you.
One person through, one person out. It's as quick as that. Only 5 places left in the next round. Who's up next to choose their question? It's going to be Spence. He's got to suss out the opposition and pick a victim. Spence, join me now and choose your question. So, would you rather be picking a question or answering a question? It's your choice, top or bottom.
I think I'll be answering it, actually.
A question somebody here is going to get wrong. Any of these 9 people. Of course, you make the right choice, Spence, and you're a step closer to my £4,000.
I think I'll go for the top one.
The top question, he was confident all of a sudden. Top question. That's the one he thinks is going to kick one of you lot out. Here it comes. Watch their faces. What is the name of the Israeli Secret Service? Jane looks very happy, actually, quite comfortable with that. Jackie's also lost in thought. Who do you want to go up against, Spence? Who do you think's going to get this wrong?
Nicole.
Nicole, he wants you out. Join us and face your question. Nicole?
Just sort of general things, sort of military, and normally women aren't interested in sort of military.
A lot of female army officers, and Nicole could be one of them for all you know. Nicole, you've got to get this answer right to stay in the game. What is the name of the Israeli Secret Service? Still confident?
Reasonable.
You don't look confident. £4,000, a lot of money.
Thanks a lot, Paul.
OK, Nicole. If you're right, he's out, you see. Vice versa, though. Get it wrong. Sudden death, goodbye. What is the name of the Israeli Secret Service?
I'm going to have to say an educated guess at the FBI, but...
The FBI. If the Israeli Secret Service is called the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, you're still in the game. They're actually called Mossad. Nicole, you are wrong. Which means, Spence, take your place in the next round. And Nicole, I'm happy to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
You're out. Who's a good judge of character? Who wants to knock somebody out of the game? And it's Sharon in the spotlight. She's now going to join me and choose a question. Sudden death and a quick choice. 2 questions, top or bottom. Which one is somebody here most likely to get wrong? Maybe it's one you don't know the answer to, but it's not really about what you know, Sharon. It's about what you think other people don't know.
The top question.
The top question. You think somebody here is going to get that one wrong?
I hope so.
Study their reactions. They're going to hear it for the first time. What is the official language of Bulgaria? Matt's now looking at us. Jackie's looking away. Justin's very confident. Who's going to get that wrong and get you into the next round?
I'll choose Jane.
Jane, she thinks you're going to get that wrong. Join us and face your question. Was it something to do with the way Jane reacted there?
Not really. Nobody really reacted. It was very difficult to choose, actually.
It's tough going on first impressions when there are no impressions.
Exactly.
You've got to get this right, Jane, to stay in the game. Get it right and Sharon's out. If you're wrong, we say goodbye to you. What is the official language of Bulgaria? Take your time. I think she was going to answer very quickly then. I think he could be in trouble.
Quite possibly.
Chosen the wrong person, maybe?
I don't know. I wouldn't have had a better choice, I don't think, anyway.
Bit of a lottery, Jane.
It's a complete lottery, but I'm going to have a go for it.
OK, Jane, what is the official language of Bulgaria?
I'm going to have a complete wild guess and say Hungarian.
Hungarian. If Hungarian is the answer, Jane, you're still in the game. If it's something else, you're out. The official language of Bulgaria is Bulgarian. Jane, you're wrong. And that means, Sharon, you're still in the game. Take your place. Jane, commiserations, good
Thank you
guess,
very
but I'm happy to
much.
say you're out.
Thank you.
So, 6 people left, only 3 places in the next round. Who's going to choose a question next? And it's Matt. Matt, join me and choose your question. You've seen the way it works. You happy to choose one of these 2, top or bottom, or would you rather be answering a question?
I'm happy to choose, I think.
Top or bottom then, Matt?
Bottom, definitely.
The bottom question. He's hoping you're going to get this one wrong. Somebody here's going out. What was ex-Prime Minister Winston Churchill's middle name? John's staring straight at you still. Everybody else is looking rather blank. It's up to you, Matt. Who's going to get this wrong and keep you in the game?
I think I'm going to choose Charlotte.
Charlotte, he wants you out. Join us and face your question. So you don't think Charlotte's going to know this, then why not?
I don't know, it's the lesser of all the other evils, I think.
Charlotte, you've got to get this right to stay in the game. If you do get it right, he's out. If you're wrong, we say goodbye to you. What was ex-Prime Minister Winston Churchill's middle name?
I think I've got an answer.
Still pleased you chose her?
Not so.
Difficult, isn't it? Charlotte, what is your answer going to be?
Stanley.
If it was called Sir Winston Stanley Churchill, you're through to the next round. Something else and you're out. Churchill's middle name was Spencer. Charlotte, you're wrong. Which means, Matt, you can take your place in the next round. And Charlotte, I'm happy to say you're out. OK, now we're narrowing the field. Only 2 places left, £4,000 up for grabs. Who's it going to be? Whose judgment of character is going to be tested next? And it's Justin. He's managed to avoid being chosen, but the lights have done it for us. Join us, Justin, and choose your opponent. Choice of 2 questions and 3 opponents. First of all, the question, top or bottom?
Top, please, Paul.
The top question. You think they're going to get that one wrong, or at least one of them is?
Yes.
Here it comes. Study their reactions. Which member of the Monty Python team wrote and starred in the TV show Ripping Yarns? Jackie's looked thoughtful from the beginning. John's confident, so's Mark.
I think I'll go for Jackie for me, Paul.
Jackie, it's that moment. Join us and face your question. Here's your question, Jackie. You must get this right. Which member of the Monty Python team wrote and starred in the TV show Ripping Yarns? Take your time.
Tony Hancock.
Tony Hancock. Still confident? Playing his cards close to the chest. If Tony Hancock is the answer, Jackie, you stay in the game. If you're wrong, you're out. The answer is Michael Palin. Jackie, you're wrong. Which means, Justin, you're through to the next round. And Jackie, commiserations, but I'm happy to say you're out. 2 people left. But who's going to be asking the question and who's going to be banking on that person getting that question wrong? John or Mark? Who's up next? And it's going to be Mark. Will you join me, Mark, and choose your question? No choice of opponent, but you do have the choice of 2 questions. Top or bottom? Take your time. Which one is John going to get wrong? Maybe you sneaked a peek at him when you were standing in the lineup. Maybe you got the measure of him.
I'll go for the bottom one, please, Paul.
The bottom question. John, in the interest of fairness, we're going to give you the same amount of thinking time as everybody else, so you'll stay there for a moment or 2 after I read the question. Then I'll call you up and we'll get your answer. The bottom question.
Yep.
For which club did Roy Keane play before his move to Manchester United? John's thinking. We'll need an answer. No pressure, except the pressure of losing £4,000. John, join us and face your question. Happy to be answering?
Not really.
Mind you, he might be bluffing. Answer might have sprung straight into his head. I'll read it to you again, John. Bad luck to both of you. For which club did Roy Keane play before his move to Manchester United? I think he was going to answer very quickly then.
He looked quite keen to eager, didn't he?
Maybe you went for the wrong question.
Well, I didn't have much choice of person.
Certainly true. You have had a bit of time to get the measure of John. You chose the question. John, if he's chose right and you're wrong, you're out. But you can push him out for that last place in the final round. Here's the question. For which club did Roy Keane play before his move to Manchester United?
I think it's Dublin and I think it's Shelbourne.
Shelbourne in the Republic of Ireland?
Yes.
If that's right,
I think.
You're still in the game.
Good guess.
If it's a good guess, you stick around. If you're wrong, you're out. The answer is Nottingham Forest. John, you're wrong. Which means, Mark, you get the final place in the next round. And John, I'm happy to say, you are out.
Thank you.
And well done to all 6 of you for getting this far. You've managed to eliminate your opponents, either because you're a good judge of character, you're clever, or maybe you're just lucky. But let's hope you've been paying attention to everyone else's strengths and weaknesses, because now it's time for you to go head to head with each other. And of course, with me. Because if none of you win, I'm going to put £4,000 in my pocket. Otherwise, I get nothing from this show. So I hope it's no win, no fee for you as we all take one step closer to that money. And in round 2, things get decidedly trickier. Judgment of character is now crucial. You've got to choose an opponent before hearing their question. I then read that question, and to stay in the game, you tell me if you think your opponent is going to get it right or wrong. As always, we start by randomly choosing one of you. It's about choosing the right opponent who you can read. And it's going to be Dave. Dave, join me and choose your opponent. You did well in the first round.
Lucky.
But we don't know about your judgment of character. You got your question right, didn't you?
Yep.
Okay, take a look at these people. Who can you read? Who's it going to be?
I think I'll choose Matt.
Matt, he's weighed you up and thinks he can read you like a book. Join us and face your question. Lot of choice, the maximum amount of choice you had in this round, and you focused on Matt. Why?
I think he looks intelligent.
Yeah, looks going to be deceiving.
Can be.
No offence. Here's the question. You've got to get it right, as always, to stay in the game. Which sci-fi film was based on an Arthur C. Clarke story called The Sentinel? Don't answer, because first of all, of course, Dave's got to say whether he's going to get it right or wrong. It's very difficult to see through someone when they're not meeting your gaze, isn't it?
It is very difficult. He's looking down.
He's looking up now.
I don't know if he's trying to bluff me.
I bet he is. He wants you out. He wants £4,000, so do I. Right or wrong?
I think he's going to get it wrong.
Could be bluffing you.
Could be.
Okay. Matt, you have to get this right to stay in the game, and if you do, you'll do me a favour and yourself. We'll get rid of Dave. If you're wrong, you're out. Here we go. Which sci-fi film was based on an Arthur C. Clarke story called The Sentinel?
I think it's Space Odyssey 2001.
If that's the right answer, Matt stays in the game and it's goodbye, Dave. If you're wrong, you're gone. The answer is 2001: A Space Odyssey. Matt, you're right. Which means, Matt, back in line, you're still in the game. And I'm afraid, Dave, that Stanley Kubrick, Arthur C. Clarke film means I've got to say to you, sit down, you're out. Simple as that, sudden death. 6 has become 5. Who's up next to pick an opponent? Maybe to get somebody out of the game, maybe to live to fight another day. How good a judge of character is Sharon? We're going to find out. Join me and choose your opponent. The 4 musketeers left. 4 men to choose from. Who can you suss out for us?
I think I'll go for Spence.
Spence, she wants you under these hot lights. Join us now and face your question. You didn't hesitate too long, did you? Why Spence?
I think Spence is showing a little bit more emotion on his face than any of the other guys, but I don't know if that's a positive thing or not.
The emotion at the moment must be nervousness because he doesn't know the question. Spence, you've got to get this right to stay in the game. Wrong and you're out. Before you answer, Sharon's going to tell me whether you're going to get it right or wrong. Here we go. Who composed the William Tell Overture? What's that face telling you, Sharon?
It's not really giving anything away.
It's up to you. Don't let me influence you, but I think he's going to get it right. Definitely. Confident. Knows it. Look at him. Of course, I might be biased because if you say he's going to get it right and he gets it wrong, he's out and you're out too because you give me a wrong prediction. So don't let me influence you. I want the money. Right or wrong?
I'm going to risk it and say he's going to get it wrong, but I could be making a big mistake.
You could be making a mistake worth £4,000. You think he's going to get it wrong?
Yes.
Spence, if you do get it wrong, you go. If you get it right, Sharon sits down. Who composed the William Tell Overture?
Well, as a guess, and say Tchaikovsky.
If Tchaikovsky's right, you're in. If you're wrong, you're out. Simple as that. The answer is Rossini. Spence, you're wrong. Which means, Sharon, you are still in the game, back in line. And Spence, I'm happy to say, sit down, you're out. Only 4 contestants left. 5, because you've got to include me. We all want that £4,000. Whose judgment of character is going to be tested next? Justin, the lights have selected you to come up here and pick an opponent. Let's do it now. Very simple, isn't it? You pick an opponent. It is. Who do you think you're most simpatico with?
Let me go for Sharon.
Sharon, he's got the measure of you, he thinks. Join us and face your question. Life's a funny thing, isn't it? 20 seconds ago you got rid of Spence, and now you're standing where Spence stood. How does it feel?
Hot.
Now, you've got to get this answer right to stay in the game. Before you answer, we've got to hear whether Justin thinks you're going to get it right or wrong.
Right.
Here's the question. Which capital city stands on the Potomac River? While she's thinking, before she answers, why did you choose her?
I think Sharon tends to show emotion on her face.
She could be able to manipulate those features, though,
Very possibly.
to lead you up the proverbial garden path, the path that leads away from £4,000.
Very possibly.
OK, what's that mobile face telling you now, then? Does she know the answer or not?
I think she does.
You think she does?
Oh, yeah.
So you think she was trying to double bluff us? Because I didn't think she did.
No, I think she does.
Don't let me influence you.
I won't.
You think she does?
Yeah.
Of course, if she's wrong, I'm doubly happy because she's out and you're out. Don't let that sway you.
I won't. No, I think she knows this.
She knows this. If you do know it, Sharon, you're both still in the game. He's put his faith in you. If you don't know it, you're both out, and I'm delighted. Here's the question. Which capital city stands on the Potomac River?
It's a total guess. I'm going to say Prague.
The answer is Washington, D.C.
Oh my God. Slightly wrong, wrong continent.
Sharon, you are wrong. Which means, Sharon, you're out because you were wrong. And Justin, you're out as well because you were wrong. Sit down. I'm delighted to say you're both out. So either Matt, Mark or my good self are going home today with £4,000. But who's up next to answer a question and who's going to predict? Who's it going to be? Mark is going to be predicting whether or not Matt knows the answer to our final question for £4,000. Will you please both join me now? A lot of money at stake, guys. We're all a bit tense. We could all do with a minute, a breather. Haven't got that time. Very simple. I'm going to read Matt a question. Mark, before he answers, you've got to tell me whether he's going to get it right or wrong. Matt, you must get the answer right to stay in the game. This is for £4,000. Charlie Chaplin, D.W. Griffiths, Douglas Fairbanks and Mary Pickford formed which film studio? £4,000.
It's a hard question because it's...
No clues, please. Thing is, what might be hard for you, if you know the answer, is easy for someone else. You could be a film buff. Do you like your movies?
I would like to think that he knows it, but my gut reaction tells me that he doesn't.
Why would you like to think he knows it?
Because if he knows it and he gets it right, then we both stay in.
Of course, I'd like you to say he's going to get it right, and here's why. Because if you say he's going to get it right, and he gets it wrong, then he's out because he's wrong, you're out because you made a wrong prediction, and that's the only way I get £4,000. So I'm biased, don't let me influence you.
I think he's going to get it wrong, and I'm going to stick with that.
Right. which means, Matt, if you get it right, you get £4,000. If you get it wrong, Mark's right, so he gets £4,000. Only one thing's certain at this stage, that I'm going home with absolutely nothing. Thanks, guys. No win, no fee for me. We need an answer now, Matt. Charlie Chaplin, D.W. Griffiths, Douglas Fairbanks and Mary Pickford formed which film studio?
I have to say it's a total guess, but I'm going to say Universal.
If Universal is the right answer, Matt, you've won £4,000. If you're wrong, Mark is today's winner. Universal was founded by Carl Lemieux. Those artists founded United Artists. Matt, you're wrong. Which means, Matt, commiserations, sit down, you are out. And Mark, a very moved Mark, has just won £4,000. How good do you feel?
I feel brilliant, and I'm completely... I just don't know what to say.
I know what to say. You've done me out of £4,000.
And I feel really sorry for you, Paul.
No win, no fee. Join us again the next time we're on and see who gets the money. Well done, Mark. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.